Thursday is here. That's a smoky, hazy Thursday, 4th day of September 2025. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're going to jump right to the AQI levels right now because Kashmir, which is a little closer to the Sugarloaf fire than we are, it's also a pretty narrow valley. Right now, Kashmir, AQI is at 119. That's unhealthy for sensitive groups. It kind of jumps right out at you in the map because it's a big orange dot. Also up in the Winthrop-Twisp area, you're at 121 on the AQI scale. We're up there. We're at 86 in the Wenatchee Valley. That's considered moderate. If we get to 101 or above that, that's unhealthy for sensitive groups. The air quality will deteriorate as the day progresses because the Sugarloaf fire is still burning. It's about 3,700 acres. We'll have the latest evacuation notices on that. That's the big local story you can see behind me. It's pretty hazy. It's not particularly pleasant as far as the air quality is concerned. It's 73 degrees. It's going to be hot again today. Set a record yesterday. We got to 99, broke the old record of 98, which was set back in 1988. We're going to set a record high today. Our record high temperature for this date is 97, also set back in 1988. And we'll be a little bit above that, maybe a couple of degrees anyway. So it's going to be hot today. It's going to be hot tomorrow. Going to be hot on Saturday. Things will start changing Saturday night. We finally get some relief on Sunday, and next week actually looks cooler than normal. I'm all for that. A lot of weather to talk about, a lot of news to talk about, including the latest on the Sugarloaf fire. We'll get to that in news. Mariners. This is about the nadir of the season right now. They're just not playing very good baseball. They're not scoring runs, and the strength of the Mariners, of course, for the last few years has been the pitching staff. They're struggling too. George Kirby had the worst outing of the year last night. Barely got out of the second inning. We'll have highlights, if you will. It's Thursday. Pause for Pets. Mabel the dog needs a permanent home. We'll visit with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. And the third and final set of interviews that our sports director Eric Grandstrom did with the local football coaches. We already did Kashmir's coach Brian Bremer. We did Coach Jay Foster at Eastmont on Tuesday, and today it's Taylor Mitchell's turn, the head coach of the Wenatchee High School Panthers, who open up their season tomorrow night. And we will have that game for you, of course, here on the NCWLIFE channel. We got a lot to get to. Let's do our cameras around the valley to see what we're looking at, and that's what we're looking at. It looks a little worse today at this time than it did yesterday, but our AQI is where it was yesterday at 86. I don't know why it just looks bad, but it does look worse. I got a couple of slides to show for you that's going to really kind of make you sit up and wonder. But again, Kashmir, you're 119 on the AQI scale. That's unhealthy for sensitive groups. So there's the valley, or what we can see of it anyway. Camera 2, we're up to Black Mountain, and that is a live shot looking directly at the Sugarloaf fire. I don't know what the AQI is in Leavenworth. It's not showing up on the map. Probably not real good. And the Antioch Valley as well. That's where they have some of the newer evacuations. So that's a live shot of the Sugarloaf fire, and that's really about all we can see right now. But it looks pretty smoky and hazy up there as well. Again, that's Black Mountain high atop of Shasta. Our third camera takes us to Lake Chelan, probably the Bear Mountain camera. Looks a little dirty there. Let me look here. Lake Chelan, your AQI is at 74 right now on the scale. Doesn't look as bad up at Lake Chelan as it does in Kashmir, certainly. Good morning to Lake Chelan. And finally, our fourth camera. Up to Lake Wenatchee. The Sugarloaf fire is not in view there, but there's Lake Wenatchee. Lots of smoke. Lots of haze up there. It's kind of just hovering around. There's very little wind. We're still under the influence of a ridge of high pressure, so the winds that are aloft are way up there, but there's still no way for the smoke to go, and there are a lot of fires. Check out the satellite image that the National Weather Service sent our way. Look at that. There are 22 fires in that shot. There are, of course, fires in our state. Idaho has fires. Western Montana has wildfires. There are wildfires in southern British Columbia, and those wildfires in southern British Columbia, that's what's making the air so bad in the Methow Valley and in the Okanagan area, because high pressure spins clockwise and is taking all of that smoke and shoving it down. And there's a bunch of fires in the northern part of Oregon too. So there are 22 fires burning on that shot that you see there. This is an update from what we showed you yesterday. This is the smoke forecast. This takes us from, well, right now until Friday at noon, tomorrow at noon. So take a look at where you live. The timeline is in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. As you can see, there's a perfect example of the high pressure taking all that smoke from the fires and shoving it around in circles. And we're going to get some pretty dirty air, especially this afternoon as it heats up. The relative humidity goes down. And even though they're fighting the fires, it could take a little while for these things to die down. Of course, they still have the rattlesnake fire up in the Colville Indian Reservation. That's not helping much at all. So looks like another hazy day. Could even be worse than it was yesterday, and it wasn't real good yesterday as well. All right, from the National Weather Service, after setting a new high record yesterday of 99, we'll be at about 100 today with hazy and smoky skies. Again, our record high temperature 97. That was set back in 1988. We're going to beat that. Pretty mild for the overnight low tonight, about 70. Again, the smoke and the haze is going to trap the heat in. We'll do it again tomorrow. It's going to be a little cooler on Friday. And as far as how hazy and smoky it's going to be, it really depends on how good they do today and overnight tonight in fighting the fires in our general area. So that's basically, that high tomorrow is kind of a guess. I mean, we don't really know, but that's what the National Weather Service thinks. That's not going to record high, though, on Friday. Then we finally get a little bit of relief come Saturday night into Sunday. We start talking maybe a little bit of rain, a few more clouds, considerably cooler temperatures. Sunday will be a nice break, and I could even turn off my air conditioner on Sunday night into Monday. So if the chance of rain, boy, we could use the rain. Hopefully Tuesday, with that forecast of a 50% chance of showers, that jumps up to about an 80% chance of showers and douses some of the flames out there. I guess we shall see, but it's going to be pretty hazy and pretty smoky for the next couple of days, and of course hot. All right, the news is important. That's why we do it, and that's what we're going to do next in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
As you can see, it is hazy, it is smoky, it is 72 degrees. Our AQI right now in the Wenatchee Valley is at 86, which is not good. It's probably going to get worse, though, before it gets better, and it's going to be another hot day today in the Wenatchee Valley. Almost 10 minutes after the hour, Chelan County Emergency Management has issued several evacuation notices due to the fast-growing lower Sugarloaf fire that is now burning east of Plain, has been since Monday. It's now estimated as of this morning at about 3,000 700 acres. A level 3 fire evacuation, that's a go now. That was issued by the Chelan County Sheriff's Office for Ardenvor along the Antioch River from basically Mad River Road all the way up to the top of the drainage there. A level 2 be prepared evacuation is ongoing for the large area between the Little Chumstick Creek in the north to roughly the Moon Canyon Road to the south end. A level 1 be ready fire advisory is up for the east side of the Chumstick Highway from Eagle Creek to the Little Chumstick and Deep Creek Road. That was issued early yesterday afternoon. And another level 1 advisory is also affecting Nahum Canyon and parts of the Antioch River Road, and another level 1 advisory for Beaver Hill area above Plain. Obviously, it's a wildfire and conditions change rather rapidly. This is a time lapse that we took just about 24 hours ago. As you can see, it really did take off yesterday and throughout the course of the day. Yesterday, the live shot that we showed you at the start of the show from the Black Mountain camera, well, we can't really see much of anything right now, so we'll keep a close eye as things develop. Other news, bones found during last week's FBI search for Travis Decker have been confirmed to be animal remains, not human. Investigators searched nearly 250 acres of the Rock Island campground. That's where Decker's 3 young daughters were found dead back in early June. The bones were among possible evidence gathered during the search. The bones were sent to the Central Washington Anthropology Department for testing, and then authorities told our media partner, the Wenatchee World, that the manhunt will expand with additional federal and state resources. Decker is still at large. They don't know whether he's alive or dead. The U.S. Marshal Service is still offering that $20,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. The second of 12 men arrested in a State Patrol sting operation last year for soliciting sex with a minor has been sentenced. 51-year-old Mark Allen Ashmore of East Wenatchee pleaded guilty in February to second-degree promoting prostitution. That's a lower-level felony in the wake of Operation Net Nanny. That was the ongoing program that lured potential sex predators using false online profiles. Troopers say Ashmore was among 10 Wenatchee Valley men and 2 from outside the area who responded to posts offering sex for money. Douglas County Judge Brian Hubert sentenced him Tuesday to 3 months on electronic home monitoring after Ashmore agreed to other conditions, including treatment for alcoholism and sexual deviancy. 8 men still await trial in lower courts after their net nanny arrests. 2 others have been charged with federal crimes. 3 years after it was reorganized under a new state law, the Chelan-Douglas Board of Health is seeking new members. Up until 2022, local health boards were comprised solely of local elected officials. That year, Washington expanded the bodies to require medical professionals and regular community members to be appointed. The professional board slot is currently held by Dr. Bindu Nayak. That is up for reappointment this year, along with a stakeholder seat, which is now being held by hydrogeologist and frequent vaccine critic Bill Sullivan. Residents of the 2 counties interested in a 3-year term on the board should apply through the Chelan-Douglas Health District's website no later than October 6th. Final appointments will be voted on by the elected commissioners of Chelan and Douglas County. It's a year of change for the Chelan County Fair. For the first time, rodeo events will take place in the Cindy Fowler Memorial Arena, newly named in honor of the Fair Board member and rodeo booster who passed away in June. The fair opens this morning at 9 o'clock, runs through Sunday. I went up to visit with my good friend Karen Welch, who runs the fair, and she talked about Cindy Fowler's legacy and what's going on this weekend.
There'll be a ceremony for both rodeos just before the rodeo, where we will, basically unveil the fact that we have signage and have named it after Cindy. She's done so much with the Tillicum Riders here, Waset with the high school, been on the Fair Board for years. Even before the Fair Board, she's attended Fair Board meetings as a representative of Tillicum, has just been really involved a lot with equestrian, with youth, and it's just a well-deserving honor.
We mentioned this before, I'm going to mention this again. You pay your admission, you come into the fair, we'll talk about the prices and all that stuff in just a little bit, and then everything is all-inclusive, so you don't have to buy an extra ticket to see Matt Stell. A lot of fairs will do that. If they bring in a big-time artist, you have to buy a second ticket
Not with
to
us.
get in. Not with you guys, not with the PRCA rodeo, both
No.
Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. You buy your ticket, you can go to the rodeo.
You know, we're not really a rodeo community, but something that I'd like the community to know is both our rodeos are not the same. There'll be mutton busting on Sunday that there isn't on Saturday, but last year on Sunday afternoon, we had 3 of the top 10 cowboys in the nation. And they come here to get points as they're headed to Pendleton, as they're headed to the Nationals. So, like I said, we're not a rodeo community where people, you know, realize some of the top-notch cowboys that come to Little Cashmere to ride broncs or bulls or rope calves or whatever their specialty is. So it's like, you know, come out and check it out, and you might be surprised that, you know, we've just had a superstar in our arena.
Yep, it takes a lot of guts to do that too. The prices, have you not raised your prices?
No.
Why is it so affordable?
Well, we have great sponsors. I mean, and the list is, you know, longer than both arms. And so I don't want to go through the list because then I would forget somebody and I don't want to offend anyone. But if they're listening, we really, really, truly want to thank you. It's how we're able to do this, how you help us do this as a really big event for the community. You know, to be able to come to your fair, if you're a senior, $8, if you're an adult, $12, and then for a day take in what we have to offer. And then if you're willing to bring something to the fair as an exhibitor, I always tell people, you know, bake some cookies, a pie, a cake, bring a zucchini, some tomatoes. You got a collection, or, you know, you do art. We have a lot of different categories. Your ticket for an adult is $15 for the entire fair. Yeah. And then you're going to get 2 concerts, you're going to get 2 rodeos, and you're going to get all of our main stage acts, which we have some fun stuff coming. You know, Reptile Guys coming. We got Whiskey Trail will be here. That's really a very favorite local. Yep. We got the Fiddlin' Brothers, super high energy, 2 little kids just bouncing off the walls. I think their parents gave them a fiddle, just didn't know what to do with them. And they're really, we've met them. They're really, really sweet. If there's not something going on with the youth, with their exhibits and showing that type of thing, then definitely there's something on our main stage almost every hour on the hour here.
And finally, on this Thursday, Wenatchee Valley law enforcement has lost another drug detecting dog from its ranks. Canine Reuben with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office was forced to retire this week after 2 bouts with cancer, the latest of which forced amputation of his front right leg. Our partners, the Wenatchee World, got this video on Tuesday as Rivercom dispatchers sent Reuben off with the traditional radio call announcing his retirement.
Canine Reuben, you've faithfully served our valley and neighboring agencies since 2016, along with your handler. You're the most successful narcotics canine our valley has ever seen. During your career, you were responsible for seizing over 200 pounds of methamphetamine, 15,000 fentanyl pills, numerous pounds of heroin, cocaine, and ketamine, along with other illicit drugs. You've also aided in the recovery of various amounts of stolen property, firearms, and cash. We'd like to thank you and your handler for your countless hours of training demonstrations and community events that educate the public. Today we honor your bravery, both in service and in life. Canine Reuben, you are officially retired. Thank you for protecting and serving all of us. Enjoy your well-earned retirement.
And that is the news on this Thursday. Even though it's only a 4-day work week, it seems like a 6-day work week for the folks in the bullpen, but they do it well, so check out the news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. That's on TV, the traditional television way of doing it. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. But if you can't carve out that time specifically, our news will be posted on our homepage, NCWLIFE.com. It'll be in our YouTube page. We'll put a link in our Facebook page. We're on Roku now. It's right there. We're on Apple TV. We're on Fire TV. We have an X account. We have an Instagram account. Other people handle those things because they're better at it than I am. And if you have a news tip, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. I don't know what to tell you about the Mariners. Well, I will tell you about the Mariners in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Experience the music of ABBA with Abra Cadabra, coming to the Wenatchee Valley for the first time this fall at the America Performing Arts Center, September 21st. Don't miss this family-friendly stage extravaganza, receiving rave reviews from coast to coast. For tickets and info, go to iloveabba.com. That's iloveabba.com.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Sports, Yandy Diaz had a career-high 5 hits. He was a one-man wrecking crew. Tampa Bay beats the Mariners 9-4, so they get swept right out of Tampa. The Rays matching a season high. They've won 6 in a row. The Mariners are going in the other direction. They have lost 5 of 6 and 14 of 20.
Down into the corner, gave the Rays a little breathing room, and they would ride that to victory.
And this one driven into right field. That's a base hit. Yandy scores, and the Rays break out in front. Brandon stops at second and case. And a base hit lined into right. Landon Lyle's going to be waved home. The throw's going to go to third. Safe there. Rays pick up their second run. Caminero advances to third. Josh. Mangum a roller. That's going to go through the left side. Here comes Caminero. And the Rays make it a 3-run inning. How about Mangum? Yeah, that scored a wild pitch. Infield up. And a fly ball into left. Rosarena's going to make the catch. Here's the tag at third. Lowe's going to try to score, and he is safe. The ball is loose. Josh Lowe has scored. He went back to tag the plate just in case that ball was loose. And the Rays. Fly ball into center. Got to make the catch. Rodriguez tagging. Seymour's going to score, and the throw's to third. Simpson gets in over there with Yandy remaining.
I think we were in Houston. We're close.
That's a shot back into straightaway center. Well tagged, and it's going to be off the wall. Simpson scores. It's going to be a double for Caminero. Diaz goes to third, and the Rays add another run. How about the ball his first time up? And he takes it through the middle, base hit. Caminero scores. Josh Lowe crosses the plate.
Wow. Into center field. There's a base hit with a man in scoring position. Here comes the throw home. It's cut off. Canzone scores, and the Mariners are on the board. Cal Raleigh drives home the Mariners' first run. Julio sailing back to the wall, and it is over the fence for a home run. Julio goes the opposite way with a 3-run homer. His 28th this year, and the Mariners inching back into this one now.
Julio Rodriguez is just so strong, and the one thing that he does so well is he allows that fastball to travel, stays through it. Really pretty swing.
Ground ball third. Caminero, plow 1, first base 2. Rays win it on the double play.
As you saw in the video, Mariner right-hander George Kirby lasted just a couple of innings. That's the shortest start of his career. He had allowed a season-high 8 runs, 7 of those earned, gave up 10 hits. Seattle, thank goodness, has the day off, and they need it. And they conclude their road trip with 3 games in Atlanta. Starting tomorrow, Logan Gilbert will get the ball for the Mariners tomorrow afternoon at 4:15. All right, to the American League West scoreboard we go. Astros came back and beat the Yankees. That means the Mariners are now 4 games back of the Astros. In the American League West, the Rangers fall to 5.5 back after losing to the Diamondbacks. Angels beat the Royals. They're 10.5 back. As far as the wild card is concerned, Seattle still has the 3rd and final wild card slot. As of now, they have a 1.5 game lead over the Rangers and a 2.5 game lead over the Royals. And racing, if you will, returns this Saturday night to the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval. The Rockstar Energy B-Mods, the Pump Perfect Road Runners, the Apple Valley Pumping Crown Vic Stocks. That's right, every car in that race will be a Crown Victoria. The Johnson Electric Bump to Pass, the Northwest Vintage Modifieds, the B&T Towing Youth Road Runners, and then the headliner, the Bump to Pass Boat Race Destruction. They save that to the end for obvious reasons. Cars have to tow boats on trailers, and you have to bump the trailer before you can pass both the trailer and the boat and the car towing it. It's pretty interesting. Gates open at 4:30. Racing starts at 6. Get your tickets in advance by going to WVSO.com. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. I remember seeing the videos and the photos from last year's boat bump to pass. It's I'm glad I don't have to clean it up. Your obscure holiday of the day today is National Newspaper Carrier Day today, which is a job that, well, quite frankly, is being phased out as we speak. We all know newspapers have seen a dramatic decline in publications and in print editions anyway, the kind that a newspaper carrier would deliver to your house, rather precipitously. Over the last 20 years, for newspaper carriers, it used to be like their first job. Bring you the newspaper, something entirely different. Got to know the neighborhood, got some good exercise, but of course now most newspaper carriers are also known as your local mail carrier. So celebrate National Newspaper Carrier Day. There you go. If if you have a kid who says, Mom, Dad, when I grow up I want to be a newspaper carrier, Mom and Dad, you might want to steer that young child of yours into another occupation. It's 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Of course, in 1954, the Supreme Court ruled in Brown v. Board of Education, separate but equal schools are inherently unequal. Segregated public schools, out. You got to start desegregating. And in Little Rock, Arkansas, they actually were ahead of the game. They said, okay, well, we have to do this, so they started to do it. They started out with elementary school kids. They figured racism isn't beat into your brain when you were just a little kid, so we'll start with that. Then we'll go with middle schools and eventually high schools. So Little Rock School Board in Arkansas was pretty progressive in that regard, but the governor of Arkansas, Orville Faubus, was not. He called out the National Guard to prevent 9 African-American students who had become known as the Little Rock Nine from actually going through the front doors on the first day of school at Little Rock Central High School. Governor calls out the National Guard to keep kids from going to school. Obviously, there were lawsuits. The Supreme Court stepped in and said in Cooper v. Aaron, you can't do that. Knock it off. That was on this date in 1957. The behemoth that is 27 years old today. February 4th, 1998, Google is founded. Larry Page and Sergey Brin, 2 students at Stanford University, founds Google. 27 years later, Google is the largest search engine, the largest mapping and navigation application, the largest email provider, the largest provider of Office Suite software, the largest online video platform, they own YouTube, the largest photo and cloud storage provider, the largest mobile operating system, the largest web browser, the largest machine learning framework, the largest AI virtual assistant provider in the world, and it keeps getting bigger. Google, love it or not, is 27 years old today. And pictured are Mario Impeba and Rod Allen, together for 17 years as the broadcasting voice and the analysis for Detroit Tigers baseball. 17 years together, but on this date in 2018, 7 years ago, after the broadcast, something happened between Mario and Rod. Basically, they had a fist fight. They went after each other after being broadcast partners for 17 years. A serious altercation. Punches were thrown. Allegations were made. They were both employees of the Detroit Tigers, and as a result of this incident, Mario and Rod were fired. No video. Can you imagine that? Two people who've been working together for 17 years calling baseball games, hitting each other at the end of a broadcast? Well, they did. Cost them their jobs. Birthdays. One heavenly birthday, the world's greatest unknown guitarist, Danny Gatton. Born in the state in 1945. If you're unfamiliar with his work, just open up YouTube, type in Danny Gatton, and enjoy the videos. The man was a remarkable guitarist. Took his own life in 1994. Tom Watson, 76 years old today. 8 major championships, 5 Open championships, a couple of Masters, and a U.S. Open. Happy 76 to Tom Watson. 35 Grammy Awards. 35 Grammy Awards, the most ever. Beyonce, Gazelle, Knowles Carter is 44. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. If they gave out Grammy Awards for Alpine Air for heating and cooling, they'd win them all. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Mike Bernardi's got an opinion, and then the final of our interviews with the local coaches. Taylor Mitchell, head coach at Wenatchee High School, visited with Eric Granstrom. But Mabel the dog needs a permanent home. Pause for pets.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager, and today I have with me Mabel. Mabel is, we think, 3 years old. She is a pitty mix, and she is just a beautiful girl. We've had Mabel for a few weeks now. She actually came to us as a stray, and then she was adopted out, and they brought her back because she didn't get along with their dog in the home. So I'm glad they brought her back to us, because sometimes we don't know this. We don't know if they get along with other animals in the home or whatever, but now we know. So Mabel her ideal home would be one without another dog. She would be much happier like that. Yes. We don't know about cats because they didn't have one, but probably not. But she's a lot of girl. Yes, she's be perfect as your one and only. Yes, she's got a big sweet head. Mabel is part of our Heroic Hound program, and you'd never know it from this big happy face, but she can get scared of things pretty easily. Yes, so we think she would be great with just a quiet home with a couple of adults, just really relaxed. Yes, and she can be, once she gets to know you, she can be the biggest snuggler, like an absolute couch dog. Yeah, we do a little office foster with her here in our admin area, and she just sleeps and snores a little bit, and she loves to roam around and say hi to all of us. It's really cute, and she loves her stuffies when she lays down in her bed. She's such a good girl. Yeah, and she loves going for walks. Yes, she does, and just just being around us. Yeah. Mabel's also very food oriented. She loves her snacks and will do anything you want her to do for some treats. Yeah, she's very good at sit. And I really think that she could learn a lot of other stuff with the right incentive. So if you'd like to come and meet our Mabel, we are open Thursday through Tuesday from 12:30 to 6, or you can make an appointment online for Wednesday, and we would love to introduce you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Oh God, I'm covered in drool. Okay.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
It's the NCWLIFE Community Calendar, a presentation of Apple Valley Honda. The Chelan County Fair returns September 4th through the 7th at the Fairgrounds in Cashmere. Thursday is Senior Day. Folks 62 and older get in for free until 4 p.m. On Thursday night, it's the Boy Band Review taking the stage. Friday, it's multi-platinum country artist Matt Stell with special guest Jessica Lee. And Saturday and Sunday, it's the PRCA Rodeo. All of these attractions are free with your ticket to the fair. Foothills Magazine invites you to Eastern Washington's premier food and wine event, the Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival, Saturday, November 8th. Celebrate the region's best wines, savor delicious bites from top local chefs, and enjoy craft beer, cider, live entertainment, and more. All guests receive a keepsake wine glass, and our exclusive VIP experience offers even more to sip and savor. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at WenatcheeWineandFood.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, many Christians today share the perception that society is deteriorating, and that's evidence that we are in the end times. Well, I don't deny some nasty stuff is going on nowadays, but I do feel a lot of this deterioration is just the natural progression of human nature, which has always been problematic. Now, I contend that in many ways, society is improving. Now, not perfect yet by any means, but improving. For example, recognition of our need to acknowledge and stand up against domestic abuse and domestic violence. Our acknowledgement and willing to deal with the abuse of our children. Our increased recognition of and the respect for the rights of the disenfranchised. Also, an improvement is an increased recognition of the respect of women's rights and their role in our society. And like them or not, the fact that this country matured enough to elect a black man for president. Now maybe, just maybe in some ways, we're moving in the right direction. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, we don't just enjoy the outdoors, we live for it. It's in the cast of a line, the crunch of a trail, and the joy on a kid's face when they catch their first fish. Out here, we connect, we laugh, reflect, and make memories that last generations. And when the day's done, there's a place we all come home to. Abby's Legendary Pizza, rooted in the Northwest, built on community, and always ready to serve our outdoor legends. If you love the outdoors, at Abby's, you're already family.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers. Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Our fall football preview continues here on the NCWLIFE channels. We talk about the Wenatchee Panthers now and saving the best for last. Taylor Mitchell. How you doing, Taylor?
Doing awesome. How are you?
Good, good. Second year as head man here at Wenatchee. Talk about the off season for you. And first, as a coach, before we talk about the team, what did you learn about yourself being a coach here at Wenatchee High School from last year as you get ready for this year?
Well, it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But it's been really good. The off season's been really good. I think there's a lot of positive momentum heading into the second year. I think there's a lot of continuity from our coaching staff from year one into year two. And we've made some really positive additions to our coaching staff heading into the second year. I think off the field, off season wise, we had a ton of kids, multiple sport athletes play other sports, a lot of kids in the weight room. I think, again, there's a lot of momentum heading in our direction, heading into year two. You get a first look in the spring. You know, after the spring sports are over, you get those spring practices for a week or two, whatever it is. I mean, you graduate a lot of guys. So talk about that and what you looked at in the spring and how you're looking now in the fall. Yeah, spring, summer was really good. We hosted our team camp again this year, so it's nice that we're able to get the pads on, scrimmage against some other teams, and we as our coaching staff were able to evaluate guys. We did graduate our top rusher last year, our receptions leader, so top wide receiver, I guess top two from last year. So some big holes to fill for sure, but we're returning 4 of our 5 offensive linemen, returning our quarterback, a lot of pieces on the defensive side of the ball also. So there are a lot of shoes to fill, and so over the summer and so far in fall camp, we've been able to evaluate some guys and see what they can do. Well, let's talk about that. Ryan Branham back again as your starter this year, and as I understand it from all indications, he had a great offseason. He did, yeah. Baseball kid, but he was around at all of our football stuff all summer, weight room, at our practices. I think he's developed a ton this offseason, more on like the mental side of the game. I mean, the way that he can conceptualize, read defenses now, it's night and day from where he was at a year ago to where he's at now. So he's just matured a ton. He's becoming a leader for our team also. So I'm really looking forward to watching how he plays and competes this fall. We'll talk about those reads. 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions last year. You expect that to invert this year, have way more touchdowns than picks? Yeah, and I think part of that was, me being, the play caller on the offense side of the ball. I think that we have, I think, a lot of playmakers this year. We were a little one-dimensional with who we were getting the ball to, wide receiver-wise last year. I think we have a ton of weapons for him this year. Again, having 4 of our 5 linemen back this year, I think they're going to be able to give him a nice pocket so that he can throw the ball, around the field again this year. I think he's matured a ton, and I have no doubt that he's going to put up some good numbers this year. Let's talk about that. You talked about Finn Matheson gone. So who you got running the ball for you? Who you think is going to step up and take care of the rock? Yeah, I think I'm just going to call it the stable. We don't have a clear-cut guy. Run by committee for Run by committee, yeah. We have a bunch of seniors. We have Augie Kate, Michael Mihica, Ryan Rabel, Joe Paniotu. We have a bunch of guys that are going to be able to fill that role this year. So I do think there's going to be 1 or 2 of those guys that get the majority of the carries, but there is like a running back room where if guys need a blow partway through the game, we can put in another guy and they'll be able to handle it. Well, you talked about the guys you got back up front. How advantageous is for that, especially when you've got some new guys maybe that are going to be carrying the ball and things like that. You got a lot of experience on the offensive line with 4 or 5, and you got Flugie coming back again. Nice to have a name like that and a kid like that on the O line and D line. Yeah, he's a stud. I mean, him at left tackle, You have John Gutzweiler, Hector Ruiz, Jacob Paniotu. I mean, we have 4 linemen. For the most part, this is their 3rd year starting. A lot of them got thrown in the fire as sophomores for us. So having that senior Latin group up front is going to help tremendously, running the ball, pass protection for our quarterback. A lot of those guys play both ways too. I mean, Luke's going to be a big-time D lineman for us this year. Gutzweiler at linebacker. Hector will be playing some D line for us also. So we're definitely going to rely on those big boys up front this year.
Have they taken that mantra also as being the leaders in that, okay, it's our senior year? Have they been in the weight room and getting everybody else to get in there too?
Yeah, they have. I mean, they've led by example in the weight room and the off season, on the field too, like the way we practice. They're a quiet bunch for the most part, but they're all about the work. You know, bring your lunch pail to work and just work every day. So it's always a positive sign when that group up front is, you know, one of your hardest or the hardest, you know, group of kids on your team. It's just a positive sign.
Talk about defensive side of the ball. We talked about, you know, those guys you got up front. Talk about the rest, because there were some key guys in your defensive backfield that are no longer here.
Yeah, it's going to be a young group in our secondary. We have a lot of guys returning at, you know, linebacker, a handful of guys up front. You mentioned Luke Flugie, Hector Ruiz, Owen Irvin, new back with our program. He took last year off. So up front, I think we're going to have a good group of kids. And then linebacker-wise, we have Michael Mahika coming back. Matt Wilson played quite a bit of football for us last year. John Gutzweiler. Secondary is definitely going to be a younger group, maybe a greener group when it comes to like varsity playing experience. A lot of juniors and seniors, so older kids that have put in their time, you know, at the junior varsity level. They've worked hard this offseason and put themselves in a position to compete for those jobs. And we're, you know, we as a coaching staff are still trying to figure out like who are those guys going to be. There are a handful. Griffin Butler's another one back at safety. Will Altworth played a lot of junior varsity football for us last year, who's kind of penciled in as a starter. And at the corner position, there's a lot of guys still vying for those positions. So it'll be fun to see how it plays out at the Jamboree this week and as we get into Lake City prep next week.
So as you undertake the task for your second season, you're like Mike McDonald at the Seahawks. You know, he said that coming into his second season now, he feels like the team is his.
Yeah.
It's a little obviously different on the NFL level, but going into your second season, do you feel kind of more comfortable and you got that first one out of the way, and so this feels like your club?
Yeah, I would say it's our club. You know, I really rely on our, you know, assistant coaches. They've done an awesome job too. So, you know, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. So I think this year, you know, heading into year 2, I'm able to rely a lot more on my assistant coaches, who've been doing an awesome job. They've been pouring into our kids all off season, all summer, and really into fall camp. So I think being able to trust those guys to take on more. So I definitely feel like, you know, it's our program as a collective now. And I think it'll show on Friday nights this fall as well.
You talked about consistency as far as that coaching staff is concerned. Any tweaks on who's doing what as far as, you know, who's got which challenge?
Yeah, Coach Carlson, Darius, who played here, is going to help call the defense, or he is going to call the defense this year. So, you know,
it's exciting for him and for you.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up a year ago, the day before we started fall camp, and so it was kind of like a last-minute deal where he was coming back. Timing worked out perfectly, and continuity-wise, it would have been tough to, you know, change vocabulary, scheme, and everything else, you know, day one heading into fall camp. So the fact that we've had a full spring, summer, fall camp now where he's been able to kind of introduce his concepts, you know, schemes and everything else, I think it's going to help a ton. And then Elijah Gable, EJ, helping out more with the offensive side of the ball. It's been a really positive addition to our staff also. So we've been able to bring on some more coaches this year. We have a full staff. So I think it's really helped out our kids a ton.
Has Darius brought out the cheetah cleats yet?
I don't believe he has
okay.
yet.
I asked you about that last year, and I'm like, you got to bring them out. You got to show the kids.
Maybe put them into retirement. Well, I'll have to ask him though.
Or they're hanging from a tree somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we've talked a lot about you guys. We're going to take a break and come back. We're going to talk about the Big Nine and talk about the opener against a team from Idaho. That's coming up next here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Foothills Magazine invites you to Eastern Washington's premier food and wine event, the Wenatchee Wine and Food Festival, Saturday, November 8th. Celebrate the region's best wines, savor delicious bites from top local chefs, and enjoy craft beer, cider, live entertainment, and more. All guests receive a keepsake wine glass, and our exclusive VIP experience offers even more to sip and savor. Tickets are limited. Get yours now at WenatcheeWineandFood.com.
Thanks for joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel as we get ready for the fall football season 2025 version. I think this is our 8th or 9th here on the NCWLIFE channel since we started the whole TV station here, and we've had a great opportunity to call local sports, and for me, I'd love getting up in the press box of the Apple Bowl and calling a game at Lee-Boffield Field. I feel like it's the best venue here in Eastern Washington anyway. Coach, talk about the opener on Friday night. Last year you played at Lake City. I know that was a game that you had your opportunities and just missed it by that much. You got them here this time around. Talk about that matchup on week 1 for Lake City.
Yeah, I'm thankful that we're not sitting on a bus driving 4 hours up to Coeur d'Alene. So we're excited though. Again, I think that we have a kind of a different brand of football this year. We have a lot to prove, to ourselves with all the hard work that we've put in this offseason. So we're thankful that we're not heading on that bus. Last year, I think in the second half, we were missing 4 or 5 key players.
Yeah, cramps and everything else that were going on.
Yeah, so super tough. So it's been super warm here. We have a lot of guys depth-wise that can tag each other in and out. So I think, just our depth chart, we have way more guys we can throw out there to give guys a rest if they need it, making sure we're well hydrated. Lake City's a good football team. Playing on this thick grass where we played out last year versus our turf, it's a huge difference. So, not being on a bus, our kids hopefully being fresh. I know the kids are fired up to just show all their hard work this off season and hopefully put on a good show for our fans.
With those subs you talked about, is it something the coaches are keeping track of, or is it just, hey, I need you to come out right now?
Yeah, I think, offensively, we've been really training our kids this year where a receiver can go in and play at any spot. They know the concepts, and they know what they need to do. And so it's just next man up. You're going in for this kid, and they can step in and do their job.
Mm-hmm. Second week, you're on the road against a very good Mount Si team. Talk about that and what you learned from last year. I know it's always different year to year, especially when it comes to high school football. But what are you expecting from them on the road in that first big test?
Yeah, they're a good football team. They're a playoff football team in a really competitive Kinko conference. So I'm excited though. We were a little slow starting last year, a couple turnovers at the beginning of the game. So I think that was really key contributor all last season. We really got to take care of the football, create turnovers on defense. We ran the ball well on them last year, and it ended up being a 2-possession game there in the fourth quarter, and we had the ball going down, trying to make it a 1-possession game. So we did fall behind early, but I'm proud of the way the kids clawed back in that game and continued to fight and battle. And so with good football teams, you got to be able to control the clock, control the ball, the pace of the game, and with the different personnel groupings we have this year, I think that we can keep defenses off balanced and do some of the stuff that we hope to do.
You've got a couple of road games after your opener. You also play your Big 9 opener at Eisenhower. A chance for you. It's been a successful team matchup for the Panthers in the past. When you look at the Big 9, I mean, everybody's going through Moses Lake once again. I mean, they got Brady back again. That kid will never graduate, it seems. Yeah. So as you look at the Big 9 and not looking too far ahead, but just looking at the stack of, okay, here's who would like to be better than.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Well, we hope to beat everybody in our league, which is a tall task. But, I think Moses Lake's the team to beat. Eastmont's been up there, 1-2 the last handful of years. Sunnyside's had our number. So there's a lot of teams that, when we look at it, Sunnyside was a 1-possession game that we lost in the last 2 minutes last year. Davis Ike were both wins that we had, extremely competitive games. West Valley, we had some opportunities in the first half last year that we didn't take advantage of. So, I look at every game in our schedule in the Big 9 that, if you don't show up and play your best game, you might not win.
Back-to-back weeks where you got Moses Lake at home and then you're across the river against those guys. For this senior class, we talk to the seniors every year. How much is that also on the board of, we've not beaten these guys in a long time. I mean, since these kids have been in high school.
Yeah.
So is that also one of those that benchmark, hey, we got to get that done this year?
It's important to the kids, but it's halfway through the season, right? It's a week 5 game for us. So the only way that we're going to be able to compete with the Moses Lake, Eastmont, as we're looking into the later half of our schedule, is we got to, focus on Lake City and, beat those guys first, and then we focus on Mount Si. So yeah, it's important to the kids. It's a big rivalry game, but we got to take care of business in the first half of the season.
Numbers, how are you this year? I mean, I was so impressed when I came out here to practice last year and saw all these kids running around. It was fantastic. How you doing on that?
Good, yeah, we're over 100 kids again this season.
God, that's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so good turnout. Last year we only had 13 seniors. We're closer to about 20 this year.
That's great. Well, you talked about people coming back and playing that hadn't played last year. So.
Yeah. So we've been able to recruit the hallways, get some kids I think are going to be important pieces for us this year. So all positive signs. In our league, you got to have, especially at the 4A level, bigger senior classes of 20, 25 kids to be competitive, and so we're heading in that direction.
For you, I know the players have their, grades and wins, losses that you talked about, scoreboard, things like that. What is success for you as a coach?
Developing these young men. I think, that's what we're educators. This is an extension of the classroom. So I think if we can push these young men to be a better version of themselves, holding them accountable for going to class, pushing them, again, just be the best version of themselves, and I'm doing my job, and our coaching staff is doing their job. So being great role models for them, and hopefully watching them excel in life after high school.
Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Thanks, good
Keep everybody healthy, most importantly.
Thank you.
There you go, Taylor Mitchell, head coach for the Wenatchee Panthers as they get ready to take on Lake City in the opener. We'll have that here on the NCWLIFE channel. In fact, we'll have 4 of the Panther games on TV this year, and hopefully we get a playoff. Wouldn't it be nice to get a home playoff game?
Be awesome.
I mean, okay, we won't go that far down the road. All right, there you go. There's your 2025 fall football preview here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Is your yard outdated, overgrown, or just not working for your lifestyle? At Bailey's Pro Landscaping, they specialize in transforming ordinary outdoor spaces into beautiful, low-maintenance landscapes built for Central Washington living. From custom designs to full installation, they bring expertise, creativity, and craftsmanship to every job. Your yard has potential. Start your project with Bailey's Pro Landscaping.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, located in East Wenatchee, offers terrific views and challenging play for golfers at every skill level. From the golf course to the grill, you don't need to be a member to dine in style and play golf too. Highlander's well-groomed fairways and greens keep it difficult, yet friendly for your regular rounds of golf or a new destination for you and your out-of-town friends. Contact the Highlander Pro Shop today to schedule your tee time, outing, or tournament. Open 7 days a week, where everyone is welcome to play and eat.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Quick look at the AQI scale before we do your weather forecast. Cashmere is still a hurting unit, 115. The AQI scale in Cashmere, that is unhealthy for sensitive groups. Here in the Wenatchee Valley, we're still holding steady at 85, which is moderate. If we get to 101 or stronger, that's unhealthy for sensitive groups. And up in the Winthrop-Twisp area, you're at 130. What's going on? Here's one more look at the smoke model. This is the smoke forecast. This takes us from right now all the way till tomorrow at noon. As you can see, high pressure is aloft, is trapping the smoke. There's a little bit of wind clockwise. It's just taking the smoke and swirling it around. So we're going to be in for another smoky day as it gets hotter and drier and the relative humidity goes down throughout the course of the day today. And we're going to set another record high. We did it yesterday. We had 99 on Wednesday. We're expected to be about 100 today. Our record high temperature on the state, 97. We'll blow past that. Still going to be hot on Friday. The real relief doesn't really come until Sunday. Considerably cooler, chance of rain, pretty good chance of rain Tuesday night and Wednesday, but we got to get there first for the next basically 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Saturday. It's still hot. The extreme heat warning, by the way, expires at 8 o'clock tonight, but the air quality alert will go on for who knows how long. And that's it for us. Start your weekend with us tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.